EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. And off we go from Denver. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now Ward. Throwing to start the drive. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Okonkwo holds it in left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 29 yards. And the Titans are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. To throw, here's Nix. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
To throw is Nix. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Throwing to start the drive. Moore. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. Operating from the gun. Ward. Returning right back to Lockett. Only able to gain a couple there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And then back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd down and 8. Dobbins trying the left side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now it's Nix. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll go play action with Nix. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside,
That's where he can really hurt you.
Here is third and quite a ways. Here's Nix. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 71 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, he has Okonkwo. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Ward. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bonito. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they certainly got dented with that 1st down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 6. In motion left goes Sutton. A fake on the jet sweep and a give to Dobbins. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
"7-7", our score after one. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Ward, left side complete to Lockett. Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Mims in motion right. Here's a quick throw out to Mims. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held the
rush coming, and he's taken down. Sebastian Joseph Day. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll look to throw here on first down. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here now, 2nd and 4. Pollard will take it up the gut. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Ward now from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This from 44 yards away. Sly able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Nix to the air. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
2nd and 10. Working out of the gun is Nix. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. A stoppage here for an injury, and not what you want to see. J.K. Dobbins in a little bit of pain after that last play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Nix. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
They'll go for it. Here's Nix.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Ward throwing to start the drive.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Ward.
That's complete downfield to Okonkwo.
And he's brought down.
A nice throw from the rookie out of Miami, and it's going to be good for a first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Looking to throw. Ward.
Got his man, Okonkwo.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back to throw. Ward.
Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo.
And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And the Titans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw. Ward. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Ward.
On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal.
That's to Burks, and he's got it. Touchdown, Tennessee.
A 9-yard touchdown there as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Sly on for the extra point.
It's good to make it 17-7.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And that'll be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
A first carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Nix, a short throw to Ingram. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
On play action, here's Nix.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Looking to throw. Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's McLaughlin. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Third and 5.
Back to throw. Nix firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. 1 touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. This one complete. It's Devon Vele. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Off the play fake, Nix. Looks to the sideline and has Mims who makes a catch.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Here's Ward, throwing to start the drive. This one caught by Ridley. No gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's caught. Lockett. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Third and 3.
Operating from the gun.
Ward working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Well, this might very well have been 4-down territory, but that's not going to matter now. They get a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive going.
Back to throw again.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. They run straight ahead here with Pollard.
And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 32.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A yard all they need, but it's third down.
Off play action. Ward. He'll buy some time right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Pollard will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Pollard again. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Tony Pollard taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Titans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here, because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead now up to 14.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
To throw is Nix. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing, because he just about threw that one into the first row.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Nix from the shotgun.
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Ward. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
To throw is Ward. Off the play fake.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held him to an okay game.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
He'll get that complete to Vele.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 2. They'll go play action with Nix. That is caught by Vele.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
To throw, here's Nix.
Over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Throwing Nix. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now it's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
McLaughlin will take it in. Touchdown, Denver.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They'll run left with Pollard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
87 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. Looking to throw. Ward. He finds his man, Pollard. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the fourth quarter.
In motion right is Ridley.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
A give to Pollard, running left.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Okakwo holds it in left side.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
From the 24 now, here's second down and 1.
Operating from the gun, Ward. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a give here to Pollard. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a third and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Here's Nix.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A short throw to Ingram. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Here's a quick throw out to Mims.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Nix to the air. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Off the play fake, here's Nix.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. That is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Dobbins is into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Lutz good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Here's 2nd and 8. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
Second and 6. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Off play action. Ward.
And he is going to have a Titans 1st down, and that should just about do it.
And they take a knee.
Running right, it's Pollard.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The Titans go victory formation down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.